Hello guys, hope you're doing phenomenal. So here real quick, I'm gonna solve some random questions about testosterone therapy issues. Since I'm about to go to the gym, just got a coffee, and in the meantime my coffee is kicking in. Let's see what we can solve. As you see here, I wrote testosterone therapy issues here in Reddit. This is a forum. Let's see. I think testosterone treatment changed my husband. Hopefully in a good way. Hopefully in a good way. If you have everything in place, good body composition, frequent injections, you go to the gym, you're active doing your cardio, you're eating the right food, no strict diet, you're eating a balanced diet, you're having a good place in terms of the sleep, you manage your stress properly, everything is going to be fantastic. You're going to feel really, really good with testosterone. Side effects from testosterone therapy ruined my life. Okay, there is a lot of side effects that testosterone therapy can generate, and this is because different things. First of all, body composition. Testosterone converts to estrogen. Let's say when you're young, you have high testosterone, and the high testosterone convert to some sort of amount of estrogen that is in a good ratio with testosterone, but also not that high that can generate issues, right? Remember, it's not just testosterone, it's testosterone in a good synergy with the other hormones. Which hormones? In this case, estradiol, that is the main estrogen, prolactin, other biomarkers as well as CBC. You have to have things in place in order to make testosterone therapy works properly in your body. Long-term testosterone surge. Have you had any negative side effects of testosterone therapy? Well, ideally you start testosterone therapy when you have low testosterone, right? You start because you've been having low testosterone. And then you go to see a doctor usually, and the doctor is going to check your labs. You're going to probably say, okay, you know what? Everything is going to be a little bit hard to manage. The doctor is going to suggest, okay, cool, we're going to put this in place, blah, blah, blah. We're going to fix this and that. You come back and testosterone levels still kind of the same in the labs. You've been still having side effects. So the situation probably give us testosterone therapy as an option. And this is going to be long-term. Testosterone therapy is not really something that you start for a little while and then you just get rid of it. It's something that you're going to do for life. So think about it. And I don't think you're going to have testosterone therapy side effects if you have everything in place. Of course, you have to do blood work, you have to do your checkups and everything. And it's something that your doctor have to consistent check on you. Coming off TRT, how I did. Okay, if you're coming off TRT, your levels are not gonna. Okay, let me put you in context first. Let's say a person is doing the things right, like the habits are in the right place, eating the right food, the workout, body composition is good. Still, progressively, as the person is gonna get older and older, testosterone is gonna decline, but it's not gonna decline aggressively. Let's say you're having 500, next year you're gonna have, I don't know, like, let's just for the sake of the example, you're gonna have 400, 380, and so on, right? But when you're coming off testosterone therapy, your levels are gonna decline from 1,000 to fucking zero, literally. So you're gonna feel horrible. You're not gonna be able to live a proper life with those amount of testosterone levels. So you have to have a backup plan with ACG, with whatever, or something that you have to discuss with your doctor, of course, or with your wellness coach. But you cannot just get rid of testosterone and wait that your testosterone is going to come back. And we're talking about testosterone therapy. We're not talking about PEDs or steroids that sometimes your testosterone is going to never come back. You start a cycle with heavy compounds, your testosterone, your natural production is not going to come back probably. What are the negative effects? Oh, there is a lot of side effects that comes from testosterone, especially if you're not having a good body composition. Your testosterone is going to convert to estrogen. Estrogen is going to be high. High estrogen leads to high prolactin in most of the cases. High prolactin leads to issues in the thyroid, and also the high testosterone kind of impact the CBC, the red blood cells, in a negative way, I will say. Most of the times when you go to see a doctor, the clinic suggests you to start with 200, 250 even. That's a lot, man. You gotta start with a middle dose, a conservative dose. This is what, in my personal humble opinion, this is what I suggest. Start with around 140. If you don't want to put it daily, that will be the ideal. I highly suggest to do frequent injections. So now people is gonna say fuck, I don't want to do frequent injections. That's like a pain in the ass. But it's the best for you, right? We are an adults. We have to assume that this comes with some sort of responsibilities from our part, and we have to do the things fucking right because it's gonna be for our well-being. We want to live a life full of energy, right? So daily injections. If you're not gonna make it daily, 3 times a week, and you have to do blood work. So start with 140, for example. After 6 weeks, you check your levels. According to how your levels looks like, you can make micro adjustments. For within those weeks, what you have to do, try to improve your body composition. If you have something that is not in place, you have to try to get back on track with those kind of things. I know, maybe you sleep, so you have to kind of be serious about your lifestyle, the food that you eat, your habits. Men on Reddit, have you had testosterone therapy and what was your experience? Actually pretty good. From my side, pretty good. I've been having issues, of course, when I just started because I had, I will say, the wrong information. The first time that I went to see a doctor, they suggest me to the classic thing, right? Okay, start with 1 shot every 2 weeks, and I was doing that for a while. And I'm a high responder. Let's say my testosterone protocol now is from 70 to 105, and I'm about 1,400 nanograms per deciliter. And imagine I started with 250 every 2 weeks. So what I was having is a super high peak, boom, and then my levels were going down, and I was feeling upside down. I will say, having a lot of side effects. My CBC was high. I was having a little bit of anxiety. I was putting everything in place, even magnesium and all of that kind of thing, supplements, but still, I was not really having a good experience. Testosterone therapy changed my life. It was great. Men who have been on testosterone replacement therapy feel amazing, depression, libido, infertility. Yeah, this is okay. For example, in this case, this person say, men who have been on testosterone replacement therapy, I feel amazing, depression, libido, irritability, and plethora of other symptoms gone. Okay, this is a very good sign. So this person is in the right track, I will say. Only downside is my balls shrink a bit. Okay, cool. When you start adding testosterone, so the body is gonna generate, I'm not gonna get into detail, but let's say the body is gonna kind of do some negative feedback. And what is gonna happen is like your testicles are not gonna work anymore because you're already injecting testosterone. What you can do in this case is like you can add ACG, so you can maintain some sort of intratesticular testosterone that helps you out also with the conversion to DHT, and it's gonna keep the size, or at least some sort of size in terms of your testicles. This is what you can do in this case. And now, in order to try to manipulate both hormones, like let's say you're adding testosterone, but on top of that you're adding ACG, probably you're gonna, not probably, most of the cases, 90% of the cases, you're gonna need to reduce the amount of testosterone that you're currently using right now, so you're adding ACG on top, and you can make everything work. Otherwise, you're gonna have estrogen spikes, and the depression is gonna come back probably. The libido is gonna get hit because high estrogen, especially high estrogen around when if you just add, let's say 250 UI daily, or maybe 500 every other day, probably you're gonna, if everything is in place right now and you're just having this issue, probably you're gonna hit between 35-45 estradiol in blood work. So what's gonna happen there in terms of libido, you're gonna have the drive to have sex, but the Johnson is gonna say no. And that's a very annoying situation. In terms of the depression, I don't think it's gonna come back. Well, this is gonna be aligned to how much estradiol do you have, right? If you have high levels of estradiol, you're gonna have anxiety issues, probably depression. And if you have very low estradiol, the symptoms are also very annoying. So you have to manipulate both hormones. Reduce the levels of testosterone, the amount of testosterone that you're currently using right now. Add a little bit of ACG. Might be, I know, this is something that you have to discuss with your professional according to your labs. Men who have stopped testosterone injection, how long does misery last? Oh fuck, that's very annoying because we don't know. Everyone is different. If you've been blasting a cycle, for example, people that use PEDs, you've been using DECA, you've been using Trenbolone, you've been using high levels of testosterone, like way far in compared to testosterone therapy dosage. You're gonna take a lot longer and come back as natural levels, or you're not gonna come back to normal levels anymore. But in this case, everyone is different. Maybe you can manage this with a little bit ACG, and then you do blood work again and see how things going. Probably adding a little bit clomiphene. Especially when you start testosterone therapy, you have to keep in mind that this is gonna be forever. This is not something like, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot, maybe for a couple months or whatever, and then I'm gonna get rid of it. It makes no much sense, to be honest. What makes sense is like you start, and you start not that old. Ideally, you start like just when you need it, just when you need it. You want to optimize this. You're not gonna wait until 65 or 70 or 60 to start testosterone therapy. People decide they're not gonna have more kids probably, or well, I don't know, like they feel like they need it, right? It's something that you have to talk with your doctor, something that you have to consider seriously, because it's something that is gonna be forever. It's gonna help you out a lot, really. For me, it's a great option that we have currently. Anyways, let's continue. Maybe a couple more. I don't want to make this video that long. Did testosterone therapy and my 22-year marriage. Testosterone should not cause roid rages, and it is taking way more than. Of course, you have to use something that is going to be aligned. As I said, even most of the times when you go to the clinic, they're going to suggest you 200, 250, but I highly suggest to start with 140 middle dose, and then you probably need to reduce a little bit more if you feel like estradiol is a little bit high, or you feel like CBC, the hematocrit is getting higher as well. You're around 50, 51. You have to kind of reduce the dose a little bit. But if you're going to start with something you're going to like it, and then you're going to add more and more and more, this is something that is going to come with more issues, of course. Unless you're a bodybuilder, or I know you're into fitness or something like that, right? So be serious, as I said. Be serious, guys. And it's not just for you guys, because in the end of the day, this also affects the people that is around of you. In this case, your partner, your family. One more. Well, we're already 15 minutes. Anyways, minimum TRT, what are the benefits and side effects? There is a lot of benefits. I've been talking about this in previous videos. Side effects, also there is a lot of side effects that you have to consider. And you have to consider that it's something that is probably going to happen, but we have a lot of things that we can do in order to avoid those things happen. One more. TRT, does testosterone make me angry and more aggressive? That's gonna be depends. I would say that's gonna be depends. As I say, it's not just testosterone. When you introduce testosterone into your system, and sometimes you have to calibrate everything. It's like when you're having a sport car and you just upgrade the engine. You have to probably need to upgrade the tires. You're gonna need to upgrade other parts as well, right? So this TRT becomes HRT. In the end of the day, that is something that you have to consider. Probably you're gonna need to add DHEA. You're gonna probably need to add, I know what else, like some supplements to manage some sort of particular things that you only have according to your lifestyle. I don't know. Well, guys, hope it helps. I'm gonna try to make more videos about this topic. Hope you enjoy, and I see you in the next video. Have a good one. Boom.